Gaslighting would be like if you'd been on hold for an hour to get on the show because a guest has come on or we've gotten behind, and I went on air and said, oh, we've had callers holding 5 minutes, we better go to them. You go, no, I've been holding an hour. And I go, no, you haven't.
Hey, Alex. Hey.
I hear somebody talking.
Oh, it's just me, John. Just running the board here.
All right, well, stop talking.
I'm not talking, Alex. I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not interrupting your show.
Stop interrupting the show.
Hey, buddy. I'm not interrupting it. Let's be pals.
All right, that's enough, John.
All right, but I'll be back.
But in true gaslighting, you would say, there's no one talking. You're mentally ill, Alex.
There's no one talking, Alex.
I'm just talking to myself.
You're hearing things.
I'm hearing things.
There's nobody here.
You know, there's real psychology in this country, and there is a lot to offer from psychology. You can learn a lot from Carl Jung, you name it. A lot of the stuff I've read Sigmund Freud said, you know, has some real validity. But it's just a lens to look at the world, try to understand how people operate. It isn't the end-all, be-all. But the state-run systems of it are truly oppressive on their face. And the establishment is gaslighting America. They're telling you there's no world government. There's no corporate welfare. There's no corruption. Nothing's rigged. That's a conspiracy theory. That's an extremist thing. That's a dangerous thing. It was like when Nightline was here a couple years ago. He was like, you believe there's a secret plan to set up a world government. The host of ABC Nightly News was the guy who was here doing the interview. Right here. I'm sitting here after the show. He's right there. And I went, no, I can show you the Council on Foreign Relations, talking about a planetary corporate world government run by finance bankers and finance capital. I can show you UN statements. And he goes, really, you could show me that? So we go out there, I pull up the clips, and he goes, that's a different global government that Ban Ki-moon's talking about than you're talking about. That's a different global government that the British Prime Minister is talking about that you're talking about. That global government or global governance is just working together. And I go, with global taxes, with global surveillance, global military, global standardization of zoning laws. And he just laughed at me. Then, as I said, we went to dinner. He was really nice. Forget his name. Who's the host of it? He's a guy. He's got black hair. Brown. I went with him and his camera people to eat at Fogo de Chao. We had dinner for 2 hours, had a couple glasses of wine. He was real nice, has a family, and just said, basically, you're on your side of the line, I'm on my side. Just point blank, I'm a soldier of the system, and was nice to me and actually liked me. But he works for them. And they put out reports that there is no world government. And will look at you with a straight face like you're crazy as it's openly being set up. This is what I'm sick of. I know I harp on this, but it really just hit me today. 94% don't like Congress because that's nameless, faceless. Most Americans don't even know who their Congress person is, man or woman. So they see that as the government, the Capitol building. Now, they personalize Obama and make him have a relationship with him, you know, like he's their favorite soap opera actor or something, and mainly women like him, but they're even, you know, getting mad at him, so he's got low 30s approval rating now, even with his idiot supporters. But they'll move on to a new puppet. The point is that the public actually isn't that stupid. They just don't know how much trouble they're in. They just think it's a bunch of corrupt liars up there. No. It's not a bunch of corrupt liars up there. It's a bunch of control freak, vicious, anti-human people. Because what I've learned is control freaks, liars, fraudsters. My dad used to always tell me this as a child. I know what he was talking about. He'd say, son, there are just bad people in the world who would rather kill you for $1 than make $1 million with you fair and square. They would rather steal from you because they like dominating you, they like hurting you, they like cheating you, they like taking advantage of you because it's their nature. And you need to learn, because we're good people and we aren't corrupt and we don't lie, that people are going to come after you thinking you're a mark. So don't think everybody's like you. And then he would go on and say to me, you see that little meth head or that little crackhead drug addict over there? He's only 4.5 feet tall because he's been on drugs since he was a little kid. Don't use drugs. By the way, the government ships in most of the drugs, and they mix all sorts of poison into it. I think back to my dad basically was the Alex Jones before me. And he would sit there and explain it all to me. He'd say, that's who you got to worry about. That person will shoot you or kill you because they have nothing to lose. They're the most dangerous people out there because they have nothing to lose. They're scum. Don't hang around scum because they like seeing good people get hurt. And even though I knew those lessons then and then learned them, I still go through that today because I'm so trusting. And so even though I know all this, I personally make mistakes as well. None of us are perfect. It's like the end of Carlito's Way. I'll give the movie away. He's gotten out of prison after a decade. He was a former made gangster, part of his mafia group, played by Al Pacino. He's wanting to go straight, but his old buddy, the lawyer that got him out of prison early, brings him back in. So it's a bad friend that destroys him and kills some gangsters, some Italian-made men, and now they're coming after him. But when he's about to get away with the money and with his beautiful girlfriend at the train station, and he's gotten away from the mob and beaten them, guess who kills him? The little low-level scumbag, local thug that wanted to make his name by killing a famous gangster. And Benny Blanco from the Bronx shoots him 3 times in the stomach. And you know why? It was because he was kind to the little gutter rat. He didn't kill him when he caught the other guy trying to kill him. And so because he didn't crush the evil up front, he was destroyed by it. And that's the story of this country. Because it turns out he was really a good guy and a moral guy. Kind of the Tony Montana character that he plays as Scarface. The same person thrust into bad environment, thrust into bad circumstances that ends up dominating because he is a good person. And that's so true. Those archetypes ring true. Those are popular archetypes because they are true. That a good person forced to do vicious things is always more powerful than the evil. That's why the evil always seeks to pull down the good man, the good woman, because they don't like you. I don't like you. My friend doesn't like you either. I have the death sentence on 12 systems. Oh, here, let me get you something. We're really sorry. No, you'll be dead, to quote Star Wars. Again, another archetype. That's exactly how it is. The 2 dirtbag scumbags don't like the good-looking, upright, clean, wholesome people that they can see have good souls, that they can see stand for goodness, that they can see have power, that they can see have the birthright of dominion on this planet. They want you dead. They want you gone. They want you destroyed because they don't like the light. You guys pull up the bar scene where the guy gets his arm cut off, just that one piece, because that, my friends, illustrates everything through art, which is a reflection of reality. Is it easier to the thugs to say, here, let me get you a beer. Let's be friends. Let me pay the pirate. What was the Rudyard Kipling quote about you keep paying the pirate? Pretty soon the price becomes too high. I'm not going to pay any of the pirates. And in my own personal life, I'm not going to pay anything to any pirates. If pirates get in my way, I'm going to run them over because they're attacking good people and they need to be dealt with. It is our responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, to stand up against evil because it will run rampant and take over the entire society, and it's done it. And there's a battle for the heart and soul in every police department, every state house, every schoolhouse, every factory, every office complex, every law firm, every farm, every ranch, every family, every church, every heart, every soul, every man, woman, and child. There is a battle going on right now for the heart and soul of humanity and our future. And a decision is being made right now. Evil is trying to take over. And they've bought off the churches to tell us it's a foregone conclusion that it's the end of the world. They've been saying that for 100 years. People in Nazi Germany thought it was the end of the world, and most Christians historically said, whether they were Catholic, Protestant, Seventh-day Adventist, it didn't matter. They followed Hitler's Romans 13 quote, his favorite passage on the radio, and they believed that it was the end of the world or God's will. Well, let me tell you, I've read my Bible, and I know what's written on my heart. God and the entire Bible is about people standing up against evil, standing up against Pharaoh, standing up against Herod, standing up against all the evil, the Philistines. It is not about handing your children over to the state and giving them to the fires of Moloch. And I will not be part of this. And I declare that the enemy's already attacked us, so I don't declare war. I declare that we are in defense of humanity. We are in defense of civilization. We are in defense of due process. We are in defense of common sense. We want justice. I want justice. And there's never a perfect justice in this world because we're flawed. But in that is our greatness. There is reaching for greatness and that animating contest that is the great test of being alive on this planet. So we are losing all of our blessings. We are being scientifically shut down. Our economy is being shut down. All of the systems are being shut down. And we have to recognize the globalists are doing it premeditatedly. What is gaslighting? It's a form of mental abuse in which false information is presented with the intent of making a victim doubt his or her own memory, perception, or sanity. A re-education camp's like a giant gaslighting facility where they all torture and beat people and get people to get scared and agree with the system and say you're wrong and gang up on you in peer pressure. Instances, that's political correctness. Instances may range simply from the denial by an abuser that previous abuse incidents ever occurred, up to the staging of bizarre events by the abuser with the intention of disorienting the victim. The term gaslighting comes from the play Gaslight and its film adaptations. I want to do a film review of that for the Nightly News in the next few days. The term is now also used in clinical and research literature. And it's literally punching somebody in the nose and then saying, I didn't punch you in the nose. And then having 5 people go, we didn't punch you in the nose. You're crazy. It wasn't tyranny what happened at Waco. It wasn't tyranny at Ruby Ridge. It's not tyranny to have TSA grab your child's genitals while the government funds Al-Qaeda publicly. It's not tyranny to have naked body scanners that all the studies show give you cancer. It's not tyranny to have glyphosate in all the major water supplies giving you cancer, growing breast cancer. On record, it grows breast cancer. That's not debated. That's 100% proven scientific fact that it is a pure estrogen mimicker and in women grows breast tumors. One of the biggest reasons. But nobody wants to just give more money to try to find a cure for it. You like trying to give more money to find a cure for Chicago gunshot wounds. We don't know where the gunshot wounds are coming from. We don't care. We don't even care if bullets did it. We just want to know how to cure gunshot wounds. Just wave a wand and to fix the gunshot wounds, not find out why it's the murder capital of the world, even though guns are banned. That's gaslighting, folks. The whole thing is a giant hoax. Nightline here going, there's no world government, Alex. That's your theory. There's no secret government experimentation. And I'd list like 10 examples. They go, well, that was years ago. No, actually, they just admitted it again. Well, you know, Alex, boy, you really are paranoid. There were stories in 1937, 38, 39 about Hitler and what he was doing, and it was in the newspapers that it was just theories and fear-mongering and witch hunts. Herr Hitler is really getting Germany going, Time magazine said. This whole book's written on that. And then there were all the stories about Stalin. They wouldn't admit Stalin was doing anything till the 50s. There was denials when Stalin was killing 2-3 times what Hitler was. He was Uncle Joe up until the 50s. He was our helper. The second greatest mass murderer in history behind Mao Zedong.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation.
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.